Well, what is going on, gang? Welcome back to A Therapeutic Edge. It's very nice to have you here today. I have on the table in front of me something that is absolutely not new, although this is a new one. This is the Cold Steel Ultimate Hunter. This has been around for quite some time. In fact, if you go back to the very oldest of videos on my channel, you will find a video where I'm talking about this knife and its big brother, the 8010. Well, somewhere along the line, I let a friend of mine have my Ultimate Hunter because it's an excellent knife, but I've got this and I've got, 250 other pocket knives. But since then, it's sort of been bugging me because it turns out that this is a fantastic all-rounder camping knife, outdoor tool, pocket knife in general, car knife kind of deal. Like when you want something absolutely reliable that's not quite such a monster, in good materials that aren't so fancy it's going to get, scooped up by the first person who sees it, the Ultimate Hunter is an excellent choice. It really is. So hang on a sec. Sorry, let's talk about what you get. So this is a Lynn Thompson and Andrew Demko design collaboration back from when they were coming up with a lot of these things, right? This has a generation, an earlier generation, but still a generation of the triad lock on it. Right? It's a back lock by any other name, but man, when this thing is locked up, it is locked up tight. It is exceptionally comfortable, and these are about 87, 88 bucks. Now, in today's world, where CJRBs are costing 56, 57 bucks, Civivis are costing anywhere from 60 to 115. For less than 90 bucks, this is a lot of knife. Now you get that Demko triad lock. You get sculpted G10, S35 VN, steel clip. It's typical sort of cold steel, but I have to tell you that this one gets in and out of the pocket easier than my old one. You get a little bit of mill work on the G10. Now, in a world full of ever-evolving and ever-escalating fancy knives, if you just need a pocket knife because you cut stuff, not because you're a collector, not because you're me, don't do that. This really is an old school and yet spectacular choice. Now, I have said many times to anyone who will listen that if I had to get rid of my entire knife collection, I would keep, I could only keep one. I would keep the 8010 because it is the toughest, most durable, most reliable knife I have ever owned. And this happens to be the OG version that is hollow ground. Right? So it is not just a monster, but a very slicey monster. I went ahead and put a Pops Custom Carry deep carry clip on mine. Does mess up the ergos a little bit, but having it lower in the pocket makes me happy. Anyway, these are expensive, right? Less than 90 bucks. You get a very, very similar cutting experience, although this is flat ground like the newer ones of these. Right? It's not much thinner, right? So you get about the same grip. It is a little narrower through here, so if your hands aren't monster, you probably get a better grip on it that way. It is not quite the same thickness of blade stock, but damn close. This is, well, I mean, it's this knife's little brother, right? Only you're not giving up size this way. You're just giving up, it's a little narrower, a little shorter, this way, not as tall. But damn, this is a nice knife. Mine came out of the box, very stiff. They do that, but I've had it for a little while now, and it's closing very well. I will say that I'm still rolling it out to open it. Now, I know from having one of these before that, a few months from now, it's going to pop open with a standard thumb. But so you get your forward a little bit finger on there, depress that lock, it falls down so you're not cutting yourself, and you will if you're not careful. And there you are. Pocket clip is reversible, sort of. It comes with a lefty clip because of this shape, right? Now, I think this is my first of the new GSM cold steel knives. You can see the difference in the logo, right? This is old school. This is the new GSM, right? Cold steel logo. You can't see that for shit. There we go. Sorry about that. It's got the new font. But I will say that with the exception of a little bit of meh down here at the ground, the plunge, it's actually got a really nice grind on it. And it feels good. Let's get some specs out of the way. All right, I do love that really positive lock of the Triad lock. I know there's Shark Lock, there's, you know, the Ram Lock from the folks over at Microtech. There's lots of options now. And this is incredibly archaic in its feeling. Like this feels like a 30-year-old knife. But, you know, there's something about that just makes me really happy. All right, let's get the basic specs out of the way. We line this thing up. You get 3 1/4 inches of cutting on 3 1/2 inches of that S35 VN. The handle area is an absolute joy. From just behind this swell, 1, 2, 3, 4 inches. So my hand, I've got a 1/2 inch sticking out the bottom, and you can really move around. This is not as tough as its 8010 cousin. Sorry, I wanted to grab a flashlight. Okay, so what you can sort of see is that this is without liners, right? And that makes a huge difference. Sorry about that, my dog was doing something weird. So this is linerless G10, but there's no squeeze. If this is a lot of knife, and it is, right? I mean, this thing is fantastic. But this is a lot of knife. This is... Okay, here's the way I'll describe this to the best of my abilities, and we'll finish the specs and stuff in a minute, because this is important. This is a lot of knife. It's probably more than you need or I need on a daily basis, right? It's cool to carry, it's great to use, it's fantastic for camping, but it is a lot of knife. This is absolutely the right knife for the 95% of stuff that you're going to do with your knife that doesn't require this much of a beast. Does that make sense? It does to me. So while I do love this, and I'll never get rid of this, this is a never sell. When I let this thing go, I realized that it had an absolute place. Like I would go, like grab a bag, we'd be going to the beach, or we'd be going out, you know, to the mountains or something, and I'd be like, I'll just throw my, and then I would miss it. So anyway, this is 90%, 85% of what an 8010 is for less than 90 bucks. All right, so anyway, we got through that. It's 4 inches of grip space, which is really nice. The overall knife from tip to tail, you were coming in at 8 1/2. It is, you know, the blade to handle ratio is a little wonky, as are all the 80 series knives. But it's really just a working tool because of it. Now, close length, you are talking about, we'll line that right up there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 1/8. It does chew up a fair amount of pocket because of this shape, which, you know, it shares with its big brother here, right? So in closed, you were looking at over 1.5 inches down here at the fattest end, but that's the top of your pocket. Pop's Custom Clips on Etsy does make some clips that'll fit in these little holes. If you're interested, I'll put a link to that in the description as well. It's not an ultralight knife. Well, let's do these specs while we're thinking about it, or at least while I'm thinking about it. I'm not braining very well today. So you get 3.36 millimeters of that S35 VN. The handle at its thickest down here is 15.81 millimeters, which is 0.6 of an inch, so it's over 1/2 inch. It's a full-size knife. It just is. Let's go ahead and weigh it out for you guys. Put that where you can see it. 5 ounces. This one's 5 ounces. The 8010 is 6.7. That would be those steel liners that make all the difference in the world. The one thing I don't enjoy about this, particularly for you lefties, is they do that thing where one side's got taller studs than the other. Just put the same stud on both sides. Anyway, doesn't matter. The Ultimate Hunter comes in orange, comes in black. Been around a long time. And I think it's one of those knives that absolutely should not be forgotten. At the velocity and volume that new knives come out these days, ranging in price from $26 to $2,600, Cold Steel, for whatever issues people may have with them, you know, the new owners and all that other nonsense, is still out there making really good, useful outdoor tools. This is one of them. I love this thing, and I'm glad to have one back in the collection. My buddy that has my old one, more power to you. I wasn't going to ask for it back. It's become his favorite knife, but now I have both again, and that makes me very happy. Anyway, this has been the Cold Steel Ultimate Hunter, an old school, excellent outdoor / survival / multi-purpose / daily carry tool, if you like a slightly larger daily carry, and I do. I hope you've enjoyed this look at it. I know I have enjoyed having it back in the collection. I will do a longer term review on this because this is my first of the new Cold Steels, and I'm a little curious as to how well that edge is going to hold up and how well the knife itself is going to hold up compared to the old one. So I will hang on to this for a year or so and then come back and let you know. Anyway, thank you so much for watching. I have really enjoyed sharing this with you. I have enjoyed having it back in the collection. I hope you guys are having a great day. Remember, take care of yourselves and take care of each other. We'll see you next time.